I have a stopwatch right here, and right now I'm going to demonstrate how to write writing task 1 graph, more specifically a trend graph with a few trends. I have only 3 years, and I have only one, two, three, four, five categories. Again, because I have 3 years, I would say it doesn't have too much information or too much data. All right, let me start the stopwatch. Before that, let me outline the steps. First, I'm going to study the graph. I'm going to understand it. Then I'm going to select the key features. Then I'm going to compare the key features. Then I'm going to arrange everything into one clear essay. After this, I will have some time to polish my essay, go through, check my grammar, maybe change my sentences a little, maybe reorganize my sentences a little, and add linking words to make it a little more clear. Then I'm going to produce my overall, and then I'll finish up with my introduction. Okay, let's go ahead. So let me study this first. So it's number of films, so basically a real number, not millions, not percentages. So I would say country A produced, in country A, it's just below 90 films were produced. So country cannot produce a film, right? And the number of films can drop, can increase. Yeah, it's quite clear. I would say it's very straightforward. Okay, let's start from key features here. Let's start from country A. I'm going to select the key features of each country. I always work with categories, and here I will also work with categories, not with years. You could prefer to work with years, experiment, but usually you end up with a confusing essay, and I wouldn't recommend working with years. If it's not really that clear that you should work with years. Here, nothing tells me that I gotta work with years. Okay, let's go country A. The number of films that were produced, and I have my passive, that were produced in country A. All right, was just below 90 in both 2007 and 2008. All right, by 2009, the figure dropped by 10. It's important you put the word units to 80. Okay, let's go. I have country B. I have a slight increase here. Should I mention it really? No, I don't really want to mention it. I'll just mention the increase. All right, in country B, the number of films was around 50. It's around 50 in the first year, right? I guess it's in the first year in 2008. I don't really have here any distance between years, so I'm just gonna say in the first 2 years. Okay, done. Next sentence. Then it increased. The figure, okay, in the final year, the figure increased sharply, or I can say shot up to or rocketed 70. Okay, next one. I have my country C here. So, there was, I want to vary my grammar a little bit. I want to use increase, decrease as a noun. There was a gradual growth in country C. Country C. Okay, with the number. So I want to use participle clause here with to support with the number of films increasing, increasing from just below 10, just under 10 to 20. Ah, it's actually doubling, right? If I have time, I'll mention this right now. I don't want to change anything. It's fully okay. I want to put the years here in 2007, in 2009. If you get any good ideas like this, I recommend you leave them for polishing the essay. And right now, just focus on key features. Okay, let's go. I have country D here. There's a fluctuation happening. Country D, in country D, there was a slight fluctuation. Okay, so it's like 15 and 10. hmm With the figure uh staying, what is it? Staying between, all right, 10 and around, let's say nearly, or roughly 15. Okay, country E, I just hovered around 10 here. It's number of films. Films. Uh, Here I'm going to use reduce relative clause. Don't use it if you don't understand it. I'm going to say produced. If you don't understand what happened here, don't use it. Keep using relative clause, no problem. Produced in country. So I guess these are the names of the countries, so I'm putting them. No, it's like small letters. Okay, country E. Howard around 10 films. Okay, Howard around 10. I always said films. Okay, key features are done. Now all I gotta do is come up with comparisons. Okay, my first comparison, what is very, very visible. The number of films in A and B was much higher, far higher than the number of films in other countries. Okay, the number of films produced in countries, in the countries, I'm mentioning them again, A and B. So I'm gonna say was, because I'm talking about number, I'm not talking about films, was far higher, it's much higher than the number of films in the countries A was far higher than Z in country, nah. Um, then in the rest of the countries, in the rest of the given countries. Okay, let me check this sentence. I'm not sure about it. Okay, I guess it's fully solid. Okay, let's go through a second. All right. Here I can see they both remain stable. This decrease, this increase. So there's not much to say here. I don't want to talk about stability. All right, here there's increase. They didn't really have a lot of changes here. So countries A, C, D, E. So B was the only country. Okay, country B. Uh, all right, B was the only country. Okay, B was the only. It's basically the name of the country. Was the only country that experienced uh sharp changes. All right. Now what else can I see here? So there is increase, there's fluctuation, there's some sort of increase, decrease, increase. How about like the overall trend? Decrease, increase, increase, decrease, some sort of increase. So it's kind of a mixed trend here. Some countries, the number of films increased in some countries and decreased in others. Okay, now maybe I need a little more focus here. So these were very, very general. I compared every category with every category. Now let me maybe try to close up. So if I'm talking about A and B in general, if I compare them, so I would say A had consistently higher figures than B. Country A showed consistently, always consistent, consistently higher figures than uh country B. Okay. Now I compared these two. I wanted to compare them. How about comparing C, D, E with each other? There is some similarity here. The fact that they're all within the range of like 20, I would say. No more than 20 for all of them. It's around 10, like 20. But I said they had far lower figures. Hmm. Within the range of 10 and 20. Okay, I want to put this. It's something I'll remove this. Um, Countries C, D, and E showed figures. Okay. Demonstrated figures within the range of 10%, 10, and 20. Okay. So figures within the range of this. Okay, I have five comparisons here. Probably I'll have to remove the last one, but we'll see how it goes. Now I have to organize my essay. I'm going to arrange this. I'm not going to touch anything here. I'm just going to be copying. Okay, how can I arrange this? I have the number of films produced here was higher than here. That's a very, very general. I'm comparing everything. So probably this goes into overall. I cannot put or start the body paragraph with this. If I start the body paragraph with this, It means I'll have to include country A and B, and I'll have to include these countries C, D, E too. I don't want to do this. Okay, B was the only country that's been sharp. I can include this in one paragraph, no problem. In the paragraph about B, the number of films increase in some. This is very, very general. I'm going to put it in overall. So I already have two sentences for overall. My sentence one, sentence three. Country A showed higher figures than country B. Mhm. All right, I guess I can start from this and go ahead with my first body paragraph. Now let's go. I'm gonna start from here. Country A showed the higher figures than country B. And now I need to prove this point. To prove this point, so I'm just gonna use my key features here. Let's copy. This is done. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna start from country A. I just want to show that country A was higher. Um, and they kind of remain stable both, like in the beginning. No, I don't want to talk about this. So let me put this here. The number of films that were produced in country A was just below 90 in both this. By 2009, the figure dropped by 10 units to 80. Okay. Then I have the second country, it's country B. Okay, I'm just gonna copy these two sentences. Okay, let me remove this. Put full stop. In country, I skipped it. B, the number of films was around 50 in the first 2 years. In the final year, the figure shot up to 70. Okay, it's no problem. My first body paragraph is ready. All right, my second body paragraph. For that, I'm gonna use this. All right, that's gonna be my topic sentence. To prove this, I'm just going to put the key features. I mean, key features directly prove this point here that they were within the range of 10 and 20. Okay, so I will copy everything from 5 to 7. All right. Okay, I'm done with this part. Let me put the overall. Overall, before I start polishing the essay, I just want to show you how much time it takes for all of this. Okay, I'm going to put this. The number of whatever was higher than there. Okay, full stop. And then I had the number of fields here. Put here. I guess this is very general, so I want to start from this first and then put the number, like specifically. The number of films increased in some countries and decreased in others. Overall, there was a mixed trend. I'm going to put it like this. The number of films increased in some countries and decreased in others. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, overall, it's ready. I just need my introduction. For my introduction, I'm just going to copy this, put it right here, and see if I can make any quick changes. So, because it's already taking 11 minutes, that's a little too much. It shouldn't be more than 5 minutes usually. But for the purposes of this video, a couple of things were slowed down. As the table shows the number of films produced in 5 countries. So it shows how many films were produced, right? Shows, I can change this, how many films, I'll put like passive voice, were produced in 5 countries that are labeled, labeled as, not as, maybe like with the letters A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, probably I should separate them like this. A, but that's a really minor detail here. Do it only if you have time. Okay, and E. Okay, let me change from. I'll put it between the years. Between the years 2007 and 2009. Okay, overall, let me just pause it for now. 12 minutes. How much time it took me? How do I check out the time here? Hmm. Here. Okay. It's 196. And now let's see how much more time it takes to polish the essay. The essay is fully ready. This should be getting 7 no matter what. I did everything I was asked to, and now I have time to improve my essay and maybe get a higher score. Now, if you do not do this in this manner and you start mixing everything, probably you will not even be able to produce what they asked in the first place. Okay, let me continue my stopwatch. Let's go. With my introduction, everything's okay. I want to add overall here. There was mixed trend. The number of films increased in some countries and decreased in others. The number of films. Okay, I want to connect these two sentences. They're not connected. In countries A was far higher than in the rest of the given countries. All right. It is also worth not noting that. Yeah, just edit. Okay. Now, country A showed constant higher figures than country B. So, okay, I need to put a little sign here for my reader so that they see what this paragraph is about. Looking first at countries with noticeably high figures. Uh, country A showed consistently higher numbers than country B. Okay, I cannot say figures here. With noticeably high numbers. Um, it is important to note that. Did I say note already? Okay. Let's say mention, take that mention. That country A showed, okay, the number of films that were produced in country A was just below. More specifically, now I'm gonna prove the point that it was higher here actually. Yeah, you can look at the numbers, it's a proof here. Red Bull produced was just below 90 in both 2000. By this, however, I want to put however to show that it decreased, right? Because it was high, but then it decreased. The figure dropped by 10 units to 80. In country B, the number of films was around, in country B on the other hand. In country B, the figures were relatively lower, fairly lower, right? Okay. Так, in the first 2 years, put it here. So I just left it as like short sentence. I want to have a mix of short and long sentences. It makes the reading much smoother. In the first 2 years, I want to put the comma here. The number of films was around 50. Uh, but the figure shot up to 70. But let me put here, I want to connect this to. Don't want to keep one more short sentence, but the figure shot up to 70 by the final year. Though, хотя, uh, this was still lower. I want to make one more comparison. Then the figure, then the final figure for country. Now, I didn't really figure out should I be writing country from the capital letter or not. If you choose one thing, just follow this or always sticks through. Okay. For country A. Okay. Now I have this. Country C demonstrates figures within the range. Okay. Um, this contrasts. I want to say this. I want to connect this paragraph with this paragraph. Contrasts starkly with the data for the rest of the countries, which showed noticeably less figures or numbers, right? I lose figures too much. Numbers. Okay. Specifically, country countries C, D, and E demonstrate figures within the range of 10 and 20. Um, okay, there was a gradual growth in country C, and put here, with the number. Mm, yeah, okay, I guess I have a better idea. I want to connect the sentences. With country C, D demonstrating figures, yeah, works much better. And if I put specifically here, it reads much better as well. So I want to keep all of this as one topic sentence. I have comparison, I have topic, I have everything. So there was a gradual growth in country C. There was a number of films increasing from just under this. In country, what's A, B, C, D, D. Okay, D. There was a slight fluctuation with the figure staying between 10 and roughly 15, right? Forgot to put here. Yeah, 15. Okay, the number of films produced in country hovered around 20. I cannot say consistently lower. So I'm not saying lower because sometimes other countries were lower. And I will spend too much time comparing each year. So I'm not going to say lower. The number of films produced in country E hovered around 20. Mm, produced in country E on the other hand. Right? Let me put it like this. Country E is the number of films produced in the country E. On the other hand, powered around 10. Okay, country E, I need for my capital letter. Alright, so it took me here 17 minutes, 36 seconds here, and we're fully done with the complete essay. Alright, if I look at the number of words here, this is 262. Probably I would spend a little more time here. I have like 3 minutes left. That I'll spend looking at my spelling and maybe fixing some of my slips or less noticeable grammar mistakes.